Okay, knitters, so you have hopefully knitted your face cloth, or you're just wanting to practice your casting off. So I've just done like a really mini strip of knitting just for time, really. So I've done maybe 6 rows here, 6, 7, 8 rows. So now I could turn my work, take my empty needle and knit all the way along here. Or if I've decided that's the right size, I'm going to cast off. So casting off is just a way to take your knitting off your needles in a secure way so that all the stitches are held tight and they're not going to unravel. So it's nothing new that you haven't done already. So what we have to do is, same old, we're going in through that front leg, no difference there, okay? And then we're going to wrap around, catch, drop, knit 1 stitch. Then we're going to do the same again. We're going to knit the first 2 stitches. I'm going in, I'm wrapping around, I'm catching and dropping. So my first 2 stitches have been knitted, if that's the correct term, and are on the right hand needle. Now, this is the cast off bit. I'm going to take this first stitch on the needle, the back stitch out of these 2. I'm going to lift it up and I'm going to drop it over this stitch. So watch this. So it helps to be slow, to be smooth. And if you just tug your work down slightly, if you can, that gives you space to get that needle underneath. Can you see? I'm not even sure if this is good angles. My needle's going underneath that leg facing me of that stitch. So here it is, because that's going to help me. And I'm just going to slide this all the way over and drop it off. So this stitch remains. It was just that back stitch that went all the way over and dropped off. Okay, so I'm going to do the same again. Give that one a wee tug. I'm going to knit the next stitch. So I've got 2 here, 2 stitches again, exactly the same. I'm going to take this back stitch here and I'm going to lift it and I'm going to drop it off. Let it leapfrog this one. So let's pull this down, give me a bit of room, also a bit of security. If I'm holding onto this, these stitches can't really drop off. We don't want this one to drop off the edge of the needle. We only want this back one. So I'm going to scoop him up, and at the beginning, use your fingers, whatever helps. Sometimes I think when I started putting a little finger onto that stitch, you're not going anywhere, buddy. This guy is the one that's dropping off. So he can drop off. Boom, he's gone. And then slide this back. Okay, same again. In, we're going to knit that stitch. So we've got these 2. I'm going to pull the knitting fabric down. Just gives me a little bit more leeway. I'm going to take this back stitch and I'm going to slide and drop him off. Okay, good work. Put it through, knit. I'm going to pick up that back stitch. Sometimes what helps me is if I'm pulling this yarn, because he's attached to the stitch we want to stay on. So if I'm sort of tugging on that yarn, he's not going anywhere. Okay, I'm going to knit 2 stitches on the right hand needle. I'm going to drop this back stitch. It's going to leapfrog and drop off. It's a very enthusiastic stitch. So it leapfrogs and drops off. Knit. So I've got 2 stitches, then this back stitch, I just put the needle under that front leg and I'm going to slide carefully, leapfrog him and keep that stitch on the needle. Okay, 3 more to go. Knit as normal, you're pros at that now. Tug down, get that needle under that back stitch, hold on to this yarn if you can, this working yarn, pull it back onto the needle like that. And then slide. It just helps. It's like a little safety net. It's holding everything in place. So I've knitted. I'm holding this yarn as I leapfrog that one over and drop. And the last one. And if you need to have a break in the middle, have a break in the middle. So I'm taking this yarn. I'm knitting as before. So I've got my 2 stitches. Last one, leapfrog over that stitch and off the tip of the needle. So now we've just got 1 stitch left and I've realized I don't have any scissors. So what we do is we make that stitch really big, and normally I would cut my yarn. So I've got a really big stitch And I would normally cut this, but I didn't bring any scissors. So I'm going to put the whole thing. You see how it's facing each other? Put your working yarn through the loop and then pull so that you get a knot. And then that just secures the end one. And there is your knitting, which is obviously a lot bigger than this, but you did it. So be very proud. Put that on a little badge and wear that all day. You knitted that, so well done. Okay, any problems, of course, I'm here to help. Thank you.